Hi everyone, welcome into this week's my weekly CBS Fix. In this week's Parashas Vayikra, the Torah tells us about the different sacrificing that one may bring, whether it's for a sin offering or as a token of appreciation and thanks, or as an elevation offering, whatever it may be. The offering would be brought. That offering could be from an animal. That offering could be from a bird. It could be from flour, what's called a peace offering. Whatever the offering was, at the end there had to be what was called the bris melach, the covenant of salt, which meant that every single sacrifice had to have salt added to it. We want to know why. And I believe a little understanding could be gleaned from how salt is actually derived. Where does salt come from? Salt comes from actually the sea, the ocean, or ocean water, or salt water. And salt water has the salt in it. And how do you get the salt? You get the salt, you take a pot of water, you cook it, and the water vapors go up, the water eventually dissipates, and what are we left over? We're left over with salt. Now, that is a dual message to us. The fact that the water dissipates and goes up reminds us of the fact that the soul of the sacrifice, meaning the mitzvah of it, is actually elevated, and it's actually wanted by Hashem. And at the end, the physical bones or the physical ashes get left over of the actual sacrifice, and by the salt, the actual salt gets left over out of the water. So it's a message to us that hopefully the innards of the mystical part of the water, the fact that water is there and then it burns up or it dissipates and it disappears, that goes up to heaven. Now here we're left with salt. Now what's with this salt? The salt can do one of two things. As anybody knows, salt can certainly destroy things. As a matter of fact, the Sodomites, the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah, when they were destroyed, they were showered down upon them salt and sulfur and destroyed the entire city. Anybody knows that salt certainly destroys highways, and too much of it can even corrode metal. And at the same time, salt is the great preservator of foods and preservator of many things, and preserves things as they were. So when we're left with the salt is right there in front of us. The question is now, how are we going to use this salt? Are we going to use this salt to destroy, meaning to continue not to follow what Hashem wants, to continue to, I'll bring a sacrifice and I'll just go back to my old ways, and when I need to, I'll bring another sacrifice, or if I feel guilty about something, I'll bring a sacrifice, or no? Are we going to use that to preserve? What are we preserving? We're preserving the way we want our life to actually be, the way Hashem wants our life to be, the way our grandparents have preserved our entire heritage, and we're only here today because of preservatives that they added to their lives, and they've preserved everything that they got all the way back to Moses from Mount Sinai and even before that. So that is the lesson of the salt. The lesson of the salt is when we're applying salt now to the sacrifice, we have to take it to heart that I want this salt, I want to be actually just like this salt, and I want that this salt should remind me of that lesson, to preserve our lives, to preserve everything in the way that Hashem wanted it to be. May we all have a wonderful Shabbos. Thank you very much. Thank you for listening.